Hi everyone, and welcome back to my How to Do Nonograms video series. In this video, I will show you what I consider to be possibly the most common and most useful strategy when solving larger nonograms. It's strategy number 5, and I call it the 50% strategy. As you're looking at this nonogram, I know it's weird looking because you don't see the number clues for the columns. That's on purpose. We don't need the columns. This strange nonogram is simply so I can illustrate strategy number 5. I call it the 50% strategy because in order for it to work, you need a number clue that is larger than 50% of the number of boxes in the row, or if you're going up and down, in the column. This is a 5x5 grid. Half of 5 is 2.5. 3 is more than 2.5, so we can use the 50% strategy here. Here's how it works. When you find a number clue that's larger than 50% of the number of boxes in your row or column, you do a simple subtraction math problem. Take the number of boxes, which is 5, subtract the number clue from it, and leave that number of boxes alone on each side of the row or column. Fill in the boxes in the middle. So for example, 5 minus 3 is 2. So we're going to leave 2 boxes alone on the left and on the right. But that leaves 1 box in the middle we can fill in. Here's why this works. No matter how you fill 3 consecutive boxes in a row when you have 5 boxes to work with, this box will always be filled in. Look, if you start at the left, 1, 2, 3. If you start in the middle, 1, 2, 3. And if you do the far 3, the ones on the far right, this box is filled in every single time. So if this was a nonogram that you were stumped and you couldn't go any farther, you could use the 50% strategy to at least figure out this box would be filled in. You wouldn't know what to do here or here yet, but hopefully this one box would help you move farther in the nonogram, and eventually you would figure out where the other 2 go. Let's look at another example. In this nonogram, we can see it is 7 by 7. And again, ignore the fact we don't have any column numbers. That's fine. I'm just using this to illustrate strategy number 5. So when you have 7 boxes wide for your rows, you need a clue that is at least 4 or larger to use the 50% strategy. 5 is larger. So do your subtraction. 7 boxes wide. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Leave 2 boxes alone on this end, leave 2 boxes alone on this end, and you can fill in the top 3. You know no matter how you fill in 5 consecutive boxes, those 3 will always be filled in. Let's be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see right there, the middle 3 boxes are filled in no matter how you fill in 5 consecutive boxes. So this nonogram we'll use to practice strategy number 5. It is a 10 by 10. And remember, the 50% strategy says you're looking for clues that are larger than 50% of the number of boxes in the row or column. Since this is a 10 by 10, we're looking for clues that are larger than 5, and you should see 2 of them right away. We have an 8 up here. We have a 6 down here. Count the number of boxes in the row. It's 10. Subtract your number clue from the number of boxes. 10 minus 8 is 2. So we're going to leave these boxes alone, and we're going to fill in all of these boxes, and we're going to leave these 2 boxes alone. We don't put dots in them. We don't fill them in. We just don't know what they're going to be yet. But if we figured out all the possible ways to color in 8 boxes in a row, these 6 boxes would be filled in every single time. Let's go down and look at the last row, which is a 6. 10 minus 6 is 4. Count 4 boxes over. Leave them alone, but you can color in the next box. Start at this end, count 4 boxes over, and then you can fill in the next box. And so once again, if we figured out every possible way to fill in 6 boxes in a row when you have 10 boxes in a row, these 2 boxes would be filled in every time. We can't use the 50% strategy anywhere else yet, But this is a big help. We know 6 boxes up here, 2 down here. What else can we do with these boxes? Let's go up to the columns. You can see the top clue in every single column that we just filled in is a 1, which means all of these boxes will not be filled in. Go ahead and put a dot in these. And by the way, this is strategy 5-1. If you're doing this at home, look for the nonogram labeled strategy 5-1. These 2 boxes, let's look at these columns. The last clue in each of these columns is a 1 as well. So we know these 2 boxes will not be filled in. And you know what? There is only 1 row or column that we can do anything else with at this time. Pause the video and see if you can figure out which row or column can we use a strategy between 1 through 4 that we've already talked about. Did you find it? The only row or column we can do anything with our first 4 strategies is right here, the 2, 4, 2 row. If you found it, good job. The row is 10 boxes wide. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. And if we add 1 for each blank, we get 10. This is strategy number 4. It's our clues plus blank strategy. So since the number of the clues plus the blanks equals 10, we know the only possible way to fill in this row is like this. 2 blank 1, 2, 3, 4 blank 1, 2. There's no other way to do that. Be sure you put dots in these boxes. Now, can we put dots anywhere else? Not in this column, in this column. You might think we could, but this box could be part of 3 in a row. And if it is, we don't know, do the boxes go up or down? So we can't put dots here. Now these 2 columns, they're all 1 clues, which means these 2 boxes are single boxes to be filled in. So that tells us we can put dots here. Can't do anything here because this could be a 3 clue, nothing here. Now, this takes us to strategy number 6. Usually in nonograms, you're trying to figure out which boxes to fill in. I call strategy number 6 looking for blanks. Because now, if you find some boxes that you know you're 100% sure they should not be filled in, that will help you solve the puzzle. See if you can figure out 2 columns where you can figure out some boxes that you know will not be filled in. Pause the video and see if you can figure it out. This one is tricky, everybody. Look in the first row. We have a single clue of 4. Somewhere in this column will be 4 consecutive boxes filled in. We know this is one of them. Let's pretend, we're just going to imagine, that this is the bottom box in a set of 4. If it was the bottom box, we would fill in 1, 2, 3, 4. And look at these 2 boxes. It would be impossible for them to be filled in because this would be the 4th box in a row. So we know 100% those boxes will not be filled in. Let's go back and pretend like this is the top box in a set of 4. So now we're counting down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know this box will not be filled in because that's 5 boxes down. It's too far. And you may have noticed it's the same exact situation in this column because we have a single clue of 4 and this box is filled in. So we know these boxes cannot be filled in, and we know this last box cannot be filled in. Look what that does to our first row. Now, if we start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that allows us to finish our first row. So the dots helped us a lot there. And look at this column. The top clue is 2. We can use our edge strategy. We know this box and this box has to be filled in because it's on the edge. That box will not be filled in. Same thing over here. And now once again we're stuck. Except, see if you can figure out where we can now use strategy number 5 again. Look for a place to use the 50% strategy. Look at the bottom row. We already used the 50% strategy and figured out these 2 boxes are always filled in, but that was when we had 10 boxes to work with. Since we figured out this box will not be filled in and this one as well, now the number of boxes we have to work with is only 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. We need to leave these two boxes alone, but we can fill in this one. Go from this end, leave these two boxes alone, fill in this one. Because no matter how you fill in 6 boxes out of 8, these 4 will always be filled in. That's why we can do that. Now look at this column. The bottom clue is a 1, so we know that box has to be blank. Same thing here. I see another place we can use strategy number 6, looking for blanks. This is the 2 in a row. Now we need a set of 4 in a row. Pretend like this was the top box and a set of 4 to color in. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this box is not filled in. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This box cannot be filled in. And now look at our bottom row. It is only 6 boxes wide. Now we know those are going to be filled in. Now we can use our edge strategy for this column because we need 2 in a row. This box is filled in, which means this box has to be filled in. Same thing here. And look, these columns are done. We need 1 and 2, and that's done. So now, put dots in every single one of these boxes. Do you see a place where we can use our dots and process of elimination strategy to figure out some boxes? Look in this row. We need 1 and then 4 and then 1. There's only one place you can put 4 boxes in a row, right? We don't have room here. We don't have room here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know these boxes will have to be filled in. We don't yet know where to put the 1 here or the 1 here, but we got that figured out. Oh, look at this. This is another place we can use the edge strategy. This box is not on the edge of the nonogram, but it is against a box with a dot. If you're doing this at home, this box should have a dot. You can't go to the right here. Look, we need 2 in a row. Here's the first box. We can't go here, so we have to go here, and that means this box is empty. It's going to be the same thing over here. 1, 2, this box is empty. Oh, I see a column where we can figure out a few more boxes. Look at this column. We need 4 in a row. We already got the 2. And look at these boxes. They're filled in. The only way to have 4 in a row when you have these 2 boxes filled in, you have to connect them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got our 4 in a row, which means these 2 now we know are not going to be filled in. And yes, we have the same situation over here. We got to connect these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. These boxes will not be filled in. Oh, we forgot to mark this box as empty because this box is filled in. Every box in this row is a single box to be filled in. So this one has to be empty. This one has to be empty for the same reason. And now look, we need 4 single boxes filled in. Here's 1, here's 2. We only have these 2 other boxes as a possibility, which means they must be filled in. This row is done. We should have put a dot here and here. Oh, look at the first and last column. We need 4 in a row. There are only 4 boxes to choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those columns are done. Just this middle section. What are we going to do here? This row is done. The boxes on the end are filled in. Those should be empty. Put dots there. This row is done. We already have boxes filled in on the end. And now we have these 4 boxes in the middle to figure out which boxes should be filled in. Well, look at this. These 2 middle columns have all single boxes to be filled in. Do we have 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we do, which means this one is empty. Same thing here. This box is empty. This column says we need 2 single boxes filled in before the 3 in a row. We only have 1, which means this box has to be filled in. And this box has to be filled in for the same reason. And this nonogram is finished. We got some guy looking at us here. Very cool. If you think back towards the beginning, we only had 3 rows we could work in. Clues plus blanks here. But strategy number 5, the 50% strategy, helped us out a ton in the first row and the last row. If it weren't for that strategy, I don't know if we could have solved this nonogram. Let me show you one more nonogram where we use the 50% strategy. So in this nonogram, we have an 8 by 8. Strategy number 5 will come into play here. And remember, we're looking for clues that are larger than 4 because we need clues that are larger than 50% of the length or width of the nonogram. Since it's 8 by 8, we're looking for 5s or higher, and we have a 6 and a 7 and a 7. Remember to use the 50% strategy. A great trick is to take the number of boxes wide, which is 8, subtract your number clue from it. 8 minus 6 is 2. Leave 2 boxes alone on the edge. Leave 2 boxes alone on this edge, and you know you can always fill these 4 in. And now we have a clue of 7, which is definitely more than half of 8. 8 minus 7 is 1. We only need to leave 1 box alone at the end of the column. There's that box. We'll leave that alone. Leave this one alone. Now we can fill in all of these. Same thing for this 7. And that's a lot of squares filled in to help us right away. What else can we do here? You should notice we have a number clue right here of 4, and we have these 2 boxes that are 4 boxes wide. So we have to connect the gap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this row is done. So put dots in these boxes. Next thing I see is these 2 columns. We need 2 in a row and then 1 by itself. We don't know the other box for the 2 yet. We don't know. It could be this one, could be this one. But we know which boxes it will not be, right? It could be this box. It cannot be this box. That would be 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3. So it can't be this box. Can't be this box. This box is single because it has a 1. So this box and this box, it's going to be the same thing here. This row is finished. We only need 2 single boxes and that's done. So let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of these. Same reason. Oh, look what that did, guys. When we got rid of all of these boxes as possibilities, we now know the 3s. It has to be 1, 2, 3. Has to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be the same thing for this row. Oh, look at the second to last column. We need 2 in a row and then single boxes. Well, we have our single boxes, and the 2 has to be above the single boxes because it's above the single clues. We only have 2 boxes here. 1, 2. So we can get rid of this box, put a dot in it. And this last column, we need 3 single boxes. We have 2. We don't know yet. One of these boxes could be single, or maybe this one. So we can't do anything here yet. Oh, we forgot to put in these. Because 2, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. The top row, 1, 2, 1. Here's our 2, which means this is empty, this is empty, this is empty, and that allows us to figure out the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same thing here. Top row, we still need 1, but we don't know which one yet here. We can take another box away from the second row because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be this 6th box or it could be this 6th box. It cannot be this box. That would be 7 in a row. So we can eliminate that as a possibility. Let's go down to the bottom row. We need 4 single boxes. This one will not be filled in. We have 2 single boxes left. Those will be filled in. There's our 3 for this column. That one is not filled in. 3 single boxes for this column. That one is not filled in. All we've got left is this 2 clue. There's the 2 boxes. We moved pretty quickly through this nonogram, but once again, the 50% strategy, without it, I don't think we could figure out anything. But figuring out this column and this column and this column helped tremendously. So, in your larger and harder nonograms, look for large clues. If they are a large number, more than 50% of the number of boxes in the row or column, you can use strategy number 5. And if you are ready to learn our last strategy, it's strategy number 7, which is a little confusing but super useful. Click the link to watch that video. Thanks again for watching, and give me a thumbs up and subscribe.